Kofi was a young man who believed strength was everything. He had grown up hearing stories of warriors, kings, and great leaders, all of whom were praised for their power. The more he heard, the more convinced he became that strength was the key to earning respect. As a boy, he would often boast about how strong he was. He could lift the heaviest logs, race faster than anyone in the village, and even wrestle with the older boys without breaking a sweat. His mother, Okua, would smile at him, but always remind him, true strength isn't about what you can carry with your hands, Kofi. It's about what you can carry in your heart. But Kofi wasn't interested in heart strength. He wanted the strength to be admired, feared, and respected. Every time he passed by the elders in the village, they'd nod at him and offer kind words, but he knew they were talking about his muscles, not his character. He wanted more than just their nods. He wanted their praise. One day, while walking through the village, Kofi overheard a conversation between two older men. They were discussing Baako, the lion of the great forest. The lion, they said, was ancient and wise, the king of the forest, and as the legend went, Baako would give one special gift to a person who could prove themselves worthy. But the gift wasn't like anything Kofi had ever imagined. It wasn't a weapon, nor was it treasure. No, it was far more valuable than that. Wisdom. The elders said that Baako had lived many years, seen many things, and understood the world in ways no one else could. He had the power to see beyond strength and to offer a gift that could change a person's life forever. But they also said that the gift could only be given to someone who understood the balance of strength and wisdom, the one who could see that power without wisdom was a dangerous thing. This caught Kofi's attention. A gift from Baako, wisdom. This was exactly what he needed. He knew he wasn't like other people in the village. He didn't want to be like the old men who sat around telling stories. He wanted to be a legendary man who had both strength and the wisdom to back it up. If Baako could offer him wisdom, then maybe people would finally see him as more than just the village strongman. Without even thinking twice, Kofi decided that he would be the one to receive the lion's gift. He didn't tell anyone, not even his mother. He packed a small bag, grabbed his spear, and set off for the forest. The forest was dense and filled with the sounds of birds and animals moving through the trees. The sunlight barely reached the ground, but Kofi didn't mind. He was determined. He pushed through the bushes, the thorns scratching his arms and face. Every step seemed like it brought him closer to something important, something life-changing. But as he ventured deeper, the weight of the journey began to settle in. He had been walking 4 hours, and the forest didn't seem to end. He stopped to rest for a while, wiping the sweat from his brow. That's when Asai, his childhood friend, appeared, walking toward him through the trees. "Kofi, what are you doing here?" Asai asked, his voice calm and steady. "I'm going to find Baako," Kofi said, his voice full of determination. "I'm going to prove myself worthy of his gift." Asai raised an eyebrow. "Kofi, this isn't something you can just force. Baako's gift isn't about strength. It's about wisdom. If you want to find it, you need to understand that." But Kofi was already too far in. "I don't need to hear that, Asai. I've heard enough of that kind of talk from the elders. I want to show them all that I can be more than just the village muscle." Asai sighed, his face serious. "Fine, but be careful. Baako is wise, and the forest is no place for arrogance." With that, Asai left, disappearing into the trees. Kofi felt a twinge of doubt, but he quickly pushed it away. He wasn't going to let anything stop him now. It was another few hours before Kofi finally came upon Baako. The lion was massive, his golden mane flowing in the breeze, his eyes wise and full of knowledge. He was sitting on a rock, looking at Kofi with an expression that could only be described as amused. "You've come, young man," Baako said, his voice deep and resonant. "And you seek my gift?" Kofi, puffing out his chest, stepped forward. "Yes, I do. I've come to prove that I'm worthy of your gift. I'm strong, and I can overcome any challenge you throw at me." Baako chuckled softly, a sound that echoed through the forest. "Strength alone is not enough. You must first understand the world and the balance of nature. To receive my gift, you must prove that you understand what true strength is. Kofi felt a surge of frustration. I don't need lessons. I can fight. I can win, and that's all that matters. Give me the gift now. Baako looked at him, unimpressed. You have much to learn, Kofi. Come back when you are ready to listen. Strength without wisdom is a danger to both yourself and the world around you. Kofi, feeling insulted, raised his spear. If you won't give me the gift, I'll take it by force. Baako didn't move. He simply stared at Kofi with a calmness that made Kofi pause. If you think strength is the answer to everything, then you've already lost, young man. But if you're willing to learn, I'll teach you. Over the next few days, Kofi found himself facing one challenge after another. Each time, Baako asked him to use his mind, not his muscles. The first task was to find food and water without relying on his physical strength. Kofi struggled at first. He tried to wrestle with animals for food and dug up the ground for water, but nothing worked. Eventually, he realized he needed to observe the animals around him and follow their lead. Only then did he find food and a small stream. The second task involved patience. Baako asked Kofi to wait by a tree without moving, even if he felt uncomfortable or bored. Kofi tried to run through it, thinking that, if he was strong enough, he could finish quickly. But Baako reminded him that strength wasn't just about moving fast, it was about understanding timing and patience. Kofi finally sat down, and as he waited, he noticed the world around him in a way he hadn't before. The birds singing, the leaves swaying, the insects working, everything had a purpose, a rhythm. Each day, Kofi learned something new. The more he learned, the more he realized that strength was only a small part of what made someone powerful. Wisdom, patience, humility, all of these things were just as important. By the time he was ready to leave, Kofi felt different. His muscles were still strong, but his heart and mind had changed. When he returned to Baako to ask for the gift, Baako smiled. You have learned, Kofi. The gift I offer is not one of strength, but of understanding. The wisdom you've gained will stay with you for life. Use it well, and you will be stronger than you ever imagined. Kofi bowed, humbled. Thank you, Baako. I see now that true strength comes from understanding, not just power. I will never forget what I've learned. As Kofi walked back to his village, he no longer felt the need to prove himself. People still admired his strength, but now they saw something more in him, a wisdom that wasn't there before. He shared his new knowledge with others, helping them understand that true power came from within, from the balance between strength and wisdom. And as for Kofi, he realized that the greatest gift of all wasn't a physical object or a title, it was the ability to grow, to learn, and to understand the world around him. Moral of the story: true strength is not just about physical power, it's about understanding the world, having patience, and knowing when to listen. Strength without wisdom can lead to destruction, but when combined, they make a person truly powerful.